On a quiet stretch of Route 67 in Charlton sits a small, vacant building. It is unremarkable to most people, but not Linda Conley. This is where her mother Betty was murdered 27 years ago.
I mean, it's sad, you know? She died for $100, like right there. So it's not, it's emotional, you know, it's sad, so.
On July 8, 1993, 37-year-old Betty Conley was working the overnight shift alone at the Extra Mart on Route 67. Just before 3 a.m., a vehicle pulled in the line. The driver entered the store and shot Betty in the back of the head, killing her. Linda was just 17 at the time.
And I was like, what? You know, she's 37, she's healthy, and I didn't understand.
Neither did her younger brother. Her father, Bruce, still recalls going with police to the Extra Mart that morning. To the scene?
To the scene to identify the body.
Oh. And that, I can't even imagine what that had to be like.
Oh, at that time I was stunned. You know, I didn't know what the heck was going on.
Bruce says he was treated like a suspect from day one.
2 policemen come out. I don't know who they worked for or who they were. They said, we're gonna have the husband in jail right after the funeral. Do you know how that made me feel? They didn't know who I was.
But was there a reason for suspicion? Reports indicated it was a 9mm handgun that killed Betty Conley. Bruce had one, unregistered. He says investigators tested it, but that it was not a match to the bullet.
If they thought I did it, they would have had me arrested by now.
Linda wants to finally clear her dad's name almost as much as she wants to know who killed her mother. But 27 years later, Saratoga County Sheriff's investigators still can't rule him out. Investigator Jeff Bouye says whoever killed Betty Conley left very little evidence.
And that's the biggest struggle you have with this case, in a case like this.
The evidence they did recover includes a security camera. It had been torn down, but as was common at the time, it was not connected to a recording device.
But nothing more than a deterrent. It didn't record anything, so there's no video of the store. It
was dusted for prints, but there were none. Days after the murder, investigators recovered a shell casing from the store. That and the bullet that killed Betty, the best evidence they've got.
So we've had weapons being test fired from all over the state to compare against the ballistics matches that we have, but nothing is matched at this point.
Does that mean Bruce's gun was not used to kill Betty? The sheriff's office confirms it was tested, but no match. Bruce took a polygraph but says he never heard if he passed. Investigators won't tell us either. Betty had no known enemies, no dark secrets that were discovered, and no signs of a struggle or assault at the store. It could have just been a robbery gone bad. Could have been totally random.
It could have been totally random.
Consistent in many of the tips they've received over the years, the description of a vehicle and its driver that passersby recall seeing in the parking lot around the time Betty was killed. A white male, 6'2", 30 to 35 years of age, medium build, clean-shaven with blonde, shoulder-length hair.
There was also a report of a white sedan, mid-80s, 4-door, possibly having some damage on the vehicle.
Bruce had 4 vehicles at the time, none that match. Still, not enough to eliminate him as a suspect. Did you kill your wife?
No. It's been the same answer all the time. I told them, don't waste your time.
Convinced of her father's innocence, Linda took action, working with a friend to produce a short documentary about her mother's murder.
Technically a case that is still open and still being investigated.
The video has been viewed over 100,000 times and has generated a wave of new tip calls, theories, but no answers.
You know, you always think that it's going to get solved, and then the time just keeps adding up. Yeah.
Linda is confident someone holds the key to clearing her dad's name and solving the mystery that's haunted her for nearly 30 years.
You know, whether it's a wife, an ex-wife, a sibling, a parent, someone knows something, and they're carrying a burden too. And it's time, time to let that burden go.
If you know anything about the murder of Betty Conley, contact the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office or email coldcase13@wnyt.com. I'm Jerry Gretzinger.